It seems like the reality of cloud deployment is either all public or all private. Now, I love the notion of a private cloud with its flexibility and security, but I also love the scalability and access that a public cloud offers. Now, both have their unique benefits, but, well, they also have trade-offs. Now, wouldn't it be nice if we could just combine the two? Yeah, a hybrid cloud. Imagine your virtualized workloads toiling away in your private data center, yet still having access to unlimited processing power on demand. Public cloud access with the simplicity and security of an adjacent server rack. Now think of the internet retailer who builds an infrastructure capable of supporting that one single month of the year where demand is the highest. Such wasted capacity for those other 11 months. Now, service providers have this capacity since they can spread the demand across customers in different industries. Their networks can be efficient all 12 months of the year. And with this hybrid cloud model, we can make such better use of our network investment. We can build smaller networks sized to fit average traffic needs, but then we can also push the utilization of these networks higher than ever before, knowing that excess demand can always burst to a service provider whenever it's needed. Now your network is tied tightly to the dynamics of your business. It only gets bigger when the level of activity demands it. Now, chances are you've heard this before, right? Your excitement's been tempered by the reality of how hard this can actually be. Security challenges are always top of mind, but how about that connectivity, the on-demand interlock between your private network and that as a service provider? Just too many missing pieces to the puzzle, right? Not anymore. Allow me to introduce the Cisco Nexus 1000V Intercloud Framework. So what's an intercloud framework? Well, it's an architecture to seamlessly integrate your enterprise cloud with public cloud providers. Now, just three main components to the framework: the gateways, the manager, and the network services. The cloud gateways are the virtual switches installed at each end, one at the enterprise and one on the cloud provider side. This is where we get the end-to-end network security by forming a virtual network overlay tunnel encrypting traffic between the two sites. No matter how remote the public cloud is, this Layer 2 domain overlay allows full workload mobility between servers in each location. The Cloud Manager is Cisco's prime network services controller for virtual machine mobility, policies, and port profile information. It can use northbound APIs to tie into cloud orchestration stacks. In fact, you get expansive automation options with vCenter or Cisco's IAC, Intelligent Automation for Cloud, just to name two examples. Now, the third component is a network services infrastructure. This ensures consistency of network and security policies between clouds on each of the virtual machines wherever they migrate to. Secure multi-tenancy on the cloud provider side is preserved through virtual firewalls and sticky security policies with a great degree of intelligence. So how would this work? Well, when a spike occurs, your load balancing appliance communicates through the Intercloud Manager API to request additional server resources. And this request includes all the configuration needed for recreating that virtual machine in the cloud. Now, this on-demand replica is then attached to your virtual overlay network and is now ready to process server workloads. Good question, Andy. A cloud services router is great for cloud connectivity, branch offices or remote sites, not between clouds or to the data center. Seamless integration for virtual machine mobility is a completely different challenge. It requires a virtual services infrastructure that can mirror the private data center in the cloud. Remember, the Nexus 1000V Intercloud is a complete framework that includes switching, management, and the critical Layer 2 overlays and security extensions. Toothpicks and bubblegum won't cut it for a true, secure hybrid cloud. It's built to work with most hypervisors, virtual switching environments, and cloud providers. Although in my humble opinion, it works best as an extension to the Nexus 1000V virtualization portfolio and Cisco cloud automation platforms. Full disclosure. You know, there is value in getting this cloud thing right. But if you're like me, you have to admit a little cloud burnout, right? The Nexus 1000V Intercloud framework is the missing link for getting to the real value of cloud, the hybrid model. No more illusions trapped in the PowerPoint matrix. Welcome to the real world. Hey, don't rent your cloud resources, own them. Turn that cloud service provider into a seamless, controllable rack extension from right inside your data center.